Tag TV brings you daily news bulletin from India. Breaking news and views from India.
You're watching South Asian NEWSLINE and here the top stories we are tracking for you on Thursday, the 9th of January. 6 dead, dozens injured after Stampede broke out in southern India. India holds first high-level talks with Taliban, development and security concerns on agenda. And Bangladesh's Yunus removes US-designated terrorist from death sentence. And now for all the details. In a tragic incident, authorities on Thursday informed that stampede that broke out at one of the most visited Hindu temples in Tirupati city of India's Andhra Pradesh state on Wednesday killed at least 6 devotees and injured 40. The stampede occurred when hundreds of devotees jostled to get tokens for the 10-day auspicious Vaikunt Dwar Darshanam ceremony, which will start on January 10. Family members of the deceased devotees were seen wailing as several other injured patients received medical treatment at the local hospital. The state government has announced a compensation of 25 lakhs for the families of the 6 people who died in the stampede. The incident has raised questions on the crowd management protocol in place at the temple.
स्टैम्पेड में 6 डिवोटीज का डेथ हो गया और टोटली 40 pilgrims were admitted. We are giving our best medical services to that affected devotees, but it is a very unfortunate incident.
And in the first high-level diplomatic talks with the Taliban, India's Foreign Secretary Vikram Misri met with the Taliban's acting Foreign Minister Amir Khan Muttaqi on Wednesday in Dubai. In a statement, India's Ministry of External Affairs said the two sides discussed various issues pertaining to bilateral relations and regional developments during the meeting. The statement further highlighted that Misri underscored India's historic friendship with Afghanistan. In view of the current need for development activities, it was decided that India would consider engaging in development projects in the near future, in addition to the ongoing humanitarian assistance program, the statement added. According to a statement from the Taliban's foreign ministry, Muttaqi assured the Indian delegation that Afghan soil would not be used as a threat to India. The high-level bilateral meeting between India and de facto authorities of Afghanistan comes just days after the New Delhi condemned Pakistani airstrikes on Afghan soil. Notably, Pakistan has consistently expressed concerns over the close ties between New Delhi and Kabul during the presidencies of pro-India leaders Hamid Karzai and Ashraf Ghani, citing India's growing influence in Afghanistan as a strategic and security challenge. While Pakistan initially welcomed the Taliban's rise to power, the recent warming of ties between New Delhi and the Taliban-led government has become a cause of concern for Islamabad, adding to the complexities of its relationship with Kabul. Meanwhile, hundreds of military veterans, along with current and former U.S. officials, have urged President-elect Donald Trump to preserve U.S. special visa and resettlement programs for Afghans at risk of retribution for working with the United States during the 20-year war against the Taliban, Reuters has reported. According to the media report, the campaign was organized by #AfghanEvac, a leading coalition of groups working with the U.S. government to help Afghans start new lives in the United States. The coalition has called on Trump and congressional leaders to continue funding the resettlement of at-risk Afghans and their families and to approve an additional 50,000 special immigration visas. Since the Taliban seized Kabul as the last U.S. troops withdrew in August 2021, more than 183,000 at-risk Afghans and their family members have been resettled in the United States, according to a State Department. Afghans who work for the U.S. military surveillance agencies or other U.S.-affiliated groups continue to seek resettlement amid UN reports that the Taliban have killed, arrested and tortured hundreds of former officials and soldiers. The Taliban, who's previously announced a general amnesty for officials and troops of the former US-backed government, have denied the UN allegations. Inflation in Pakistan is pushing basic necessities out of reach for many, as soaring prices make it harder for families to survive. While the IMF loan secured by the government last year meant to stabilize the economy, the tough conditions have only burdened the public. A report.
Inflation in Pakistan is hitting families hard, pushing even the most basic necessities out of reach for many citizens. With prices soaring, it is becoming increasingly difficult for ordinary Pakistanis to make ends meet. This struggle is being felt across the nation. While the Pakistani government secured a much-needed loan from the IMF last year, the conditions attached to the deal have added another layer of pressure on the people. The IMF's requirements have led to significant tax hikes and mandated the restructuring of state-owned enterprises. These changes have only further increased the cost of living for ordinary Pakistanis.
बाजार जाते हैं कपड़े लेने के लिए इतने महंगे होते हैं कि हम हमारे पहुंच से बहुत दूर रहते हैं। मुझे ये बताएं कि क्या नाम है, बच्चों को कपड़े लेना बड़ा मुश्किल हो गया। मैं अपने कपड़े खुद नहीं खरीद सकता हूँ, बच्चों के खरीद नहीं सकता, फैमिली के खरीद नहीं सकता हूँ। तो बहुत मुश्किल है यहाँ पे, क्योंकि महंगाई बहुत ज़्यादा हो गई है। महंगाई की वजह से जो ना कपड़े बहुत महंगे हो गए।
With the Pakistani government prioritizing IMF directives over its own people's welfare, it is clear that the cost of economic survival has never been higher. The public is left to bear the brunt of austerity measures while the government continues to play to the IMF's tune, sacrificing everyday citizens for an uncertain economic future.
In a controversial move, Bangladesh's interim government led by Muhammad Yunus has pardoned the death sentence of a most wanted terrorist, Sayyid Ziaul Haq, a former military officer accused of links to Al-Qaeda. Haq's dangerous reputation is evident as even the United States has put a bounty on him for his involvement in terrorist activities. He also played a key role in a failed military coup in 2011 to overthrow Sheikh Hasina's government. He is also accused of involvement in the murders of secular activists in Dhaka. This move by Yunus government raises questions about whether the interim government is now making decisions to please ISI and other terrorist organizations. Pakistan in past days has displayed an increasing interest in Bangladesh's internal politics ever since the ouster of Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina, reflecting a strategic pivot towards influencing erstwhile East Pakistan. In the ancient town of Toka, just on the outskirts of Kathmandu, 19-year-old Rohit Shrestha is continuing a family tradition of molasses making. But as immigration trends rise, this once thriving business faces uncertain times. Take a look.
Rohit Shrestha has been working in his family molasses factory since a young age. But as Rohit finishes his education, he plans to move abroad for better opportunities. The allure of foreign countries is growing stronger as the youth migration rises. It is leaving a void in industries like his. The very tradition that has sustained his family for generations now faces a growing challenge, a shortage of workers. For centuries, Toka has been known for its high-quality molasses in demand across Nepal. Yet, as the population migrates in search of work abroad, the supply of workers to sustain these traditional industries is dwindling. While demand for molasses grows, the labor shortage is putting a strain on production. Rohit's factory, once bustling with workers, now operates with a small team, his family included, struggling to keep up.
चौथो पुस्ता हो अनि यो काम गरेको चाहिँ मैले बच्चादेखि नै हो बच्चादेखि नै प्रेरित भएर आएर मैले यो काम गरिरहेको छु पढाइ अहिले म 12 सकेर बसिरहेको छु ब्याचलर जोइन गरेको छैन अब म यो पढाइ सकेर फरेन कन्ट्री गएर चाकुलाई नै प्रमोट गर्ने हिसाबमा छु
हर सालमा चाहिँ हाम्रो चाहिँ धेरै जसो चाकुको माग बढ्दो छ तर बढ्दो भए तापनि यसपालि चाहिँ अलिकति काम चाहिँ कामको सिलसिलामा चाहिँ एउटा कर्मचारी नपाउने भएको हुनाले चाहिँ पोहोर सालको भन्दा अलिकति डाउनफल चाहिँ भइरहेछ अब सबै अब नेपाली युवाहरू सब खाडी अस्ट्रेलिया युरोप अमेरिका गइसकेपछि हामीले पनि काम गर्ने अभाव काम गर्दा कामदारको अभाव भइरहेर अलिकति समस्या चाहिँ चाको पर्ने जति चाहिँ पुर्याउन सकेको छैन
Recent data shows a record number of Nepali workers leaving for countries in the Gulf, Australia, Europe and beyond, with skilled workers among the highest numbers. While these workers send vital remittances home, the impact on industries like dokhas, molasses making is becoming increasingly evident. As Rohit and many others leave for opportunities abroad, the question remains: can Nepal's traditional industries survive in the face of such a migration wave? Only time will tell.
Tibetan spiritual leader the Dalai Lama held a prayer session for Tibet earthquake victims in India's southern Belakup town on Thursday. An initial tally on Tuesday night showed at least 126 people had been killed and 188 injured, according to Chinese state media. Authorities moved more than 45,000 people in earthquake-hit Tibet to shelters in a massive rescue operation near the foot of the Himalayas. Meanwhile, Tibetans in exile, including monks and the members of the parliament in exile, conducted overnight prayers at the Sunglakhang temple in India's northern hill town of Dharamshala on Wednesday. Monks clad in robes recited prayers under a Buddha statue as people lit candles in memory of the victims. That's all in tonight's edition. We will see you same time tomorrow. Good night.
Tag TV brings you daily news bulletin from India. Breaking news and views from India.